Hello, today I'm going to talk about faucet aerators. They come in a number of different sizes. Most common that I've come across is 13/16 and 15/16 male end, which would be, that's considered a male end, male thread, and 55/64 and 3/4 female. And we'll just pop that washer out, and there's the female thread inside. So one of the most common problems that people have as far as problems with their aerators is they have a tendency of plugging up. Usually after you've done a little renovation, you shut the water off perhaps, repaired a faucet, anything like that, and you turn the water back on. One thing to do when you do turn the water back on is go to your outside faucet or your laundry tub, something that doesn't have an aerator on the end of it, and purge your system there for a minute or so, just to remove any minerals or debris that has become loose since you've taken the pressure off the system. As you can see, there are many different adapters. These adapters come in every possible size that you can imagine. There's two that are the same, one's plastic and one's brass. So they're making them out of both. One thing you can do with aerators, you can put an aerator like this on, for example, and end up attaching a hose to this end. That's just one little example, something that they've started to do over the last number of years, since water conservation is such a big thing. They've started to put smaller orifices in them, and that's a size that is quite common in North America. Another style that they do have, that they've had for years, and this is one of the reasons that you can see why they end up plugging up, is, and I'll bring that up as close as I can. This is a pin I have, so the holes in there are about, well, there might be twice the size of that pin, and it's quite common for this to plug up. You can remove them. Something to do if you do that is remember how to put them back together. So that was the learning experience for the first few months when I get into the trade. I'm going to remove this one off this faucet, and it is a little tight. So this is a pair of channel locks that I have, and they have a solid rubber on the end of them. One thing to remember, if you are removing your aerator off your faucet, is not to squeeze too tight on it, because if you do, the aerator could possibly pop off and become egg-shaped along with the inside of the faucet. If that happens, you will not get an aerator back on there, and you're going to have to replace your faucet. So one way to do it would be just to apply a little bit of pressure there, so on and so forth. First I'll adjust them. Apply a little pressure here, move your channel locks, apply a little more there, and so on. And with any luck, you can remove that aerator without too much difficulty. If it's an older faucet and you do go to remove the aerator, there is a good possibility that you may not get it back on. And as you can see with this one, it's fairly dirty. Fair amount of sediment and that in there. I'm just going to actually replace this with a new one. I'll clean that one back up. So this is a 15/16 nail thread. Another thing to remember as well, when you do take out your aerator, for example, this one, if I had taken that out, and this is what it looked like. If you do get a new aerator and it comes with a washer, you have to remember there is a washer that's already up in the faucet. So the washer has to be removed in order to thread the new aerator into the faucet. That's about it for aerators. how they work. Fine sprays of lines of water come down, and air is actually in between those lines, and it looks like it's a steady, you could call it a steady foam of water or spray of water, but it's actually air that's trapped in between all the finer lines. And that's it. Have a great day.